So if you see what is a database? Okay, so if you see what is a database? So database is a storage system that has collection of data. So what is database? Database is a storage system that has collection of data inside it. Okay, so this data, okay, so this database, so database is a strong system that has collection of data. Okay, relational databases store data in the form of tables that can be easily retrieved, managed, and updated. So we have relational database. Okay, the data is stored in the form of tables. So how the data will be stored in the database case? So always data in the table in the database will be stored in the form of tables. So it has columns. Okay, it has different columns as well. It will have different rows and other things. And this tables has relationship between them also. Okay, so that is the thing. So database is a storage system that has collection of data. Relational database stores data in the form of tables that can easily retrieved, managed, and updated. Okay, and then we have many databases. So we have something called as MySQL. We have something called as Oracle. We have MongoDB. We have SQL Server. We have Cassandra. We have Postgre. So all these are nothing but they are databases. So all these databases, okay, so they use this SQL. Okay, so what they use SQL, that is called as structured query language to communicate with the database. So if you see what is SQL, SQL is the language. Okay, so in order to work with the database, in order to communicate the tables in the database, what we use a language called as SQL. So SQL is the language that is used to communicate with the databases. So SQL commands help you to store. So what this command? So SQL, it has set of commands. It is used to store. Okay, so it is used to help to store some data, process the data, analyze the data, and manipulate the databases. So changing certain things in the databases, adding new columns or removing certain rows and all. So you can first thing using this SQL commands, you can store the data, you can process the data, you can analyze the data, and also you can manipulate the database. That is SQL. Okay. So SQL is termed as structural query language. So this is a table here. Now, so what we are going to see, we are going to see MySQL concepts case. Okay. So what we are going to cover, the database we are going to cover, we are going to work with the database called as MySQL. Okay. So if you see what is MySQL, so MySQL is widely used relational database management system. Okay. So RDBMS, if you see here, RDBMS. What is the full form of RDBMS? It is Relational Database Management System, guys. Okay. So MySQL is widely used RDBMS, so Relational Database Management System. And next, if you see, MySQL is free and open source. So what is the specialty of MySQL? It is free and open source. So you can download MySQL, okay, for free of cost. You can create databases in that one. You can store tables in that one, and you can do all type of storage things, process things, manipulations things with the data. Okay, so MySQL is free and open source. That is the thing. And next, if you see, MySQL is ideal for both small and large applications as well as. So it doesn't matter whether the application is small, medium, large, or anything. This MySQL, it can be applicable for small or large applications as well as. Okay. And what is the specialty? If you see, SQL is very fast. Okay. So it is scalable, it is reliable. So you can trust on that whatever things, whatever work we are going to do with that MySQL. Okay. So MySQL is fast and it is very easy to do. And MySQL is cross-platform. Okay, so it is like platform independent, or you can say you can install this MySQL in any operating systems like Windows. You can have Linux. You can have this MySQL in Mac OS operating systems and all. So you can use this MySQL. Okay, and then MySQL is complete. Okay, with the ANSI SQL standard. So generally ANSI code, guys, so we have some certain standards. Okay, so that is international standards and all. So it follows that standards. And MySQL first version was released in the year 1955. So do remember that is released in the year 1955. So MySQL is developed, distributed, and supported by Oracle Corporation. So Oracle is the company which is supporting this MySQL, and it is also developed by this Oracle Corporation. Okay, and MySQL is named after the co-founder Monty Watson, Doctor some My. So that is the reason why My has come. Okay, her name is My, it seems. So that is the reason this language is named after her name. So it is MySQL. Okay. Next, if you see what are the uses of SQL. So SQL, many of the companies like Facebook, Twitter, okay, so GitHub, YouTube, etc., they are using this MySQL, guys. Okay, so many top companies they are using this MySQL. Okay, so this MySQL is also used for content management system. Okay, so in content management system like the website development companies like WordPress, Drupal. Okay, so these are some companies who do this. Instant website developing thing, and also they use the content management system for these companies. Okay, so there are very large number of web developers around the world using this MySQL. So MySQL is used by a very large number of community throughout the world. Okay, next, if you see, so if you go to SQL, so SQL is a standard language for dealing with relational databases. Okay, so do remember SQL is different. SQL stands for structured query language. Okay, so don't get confused. SQL is structured query language or standard language. Okay, so it is which used to deal with relational database. So SQL is used to insert, search, operation, certain things with the data. Okay, so we have a lot of SQL commands. But as if now, let us go to our PPT. So generally this will be a table, guys. So you all knows. So if you see this is a table, every table will have a name. If you see the name of the table is players. And what are these? These are columns: player ID, name, country, goals. So what are these? 103, 104, and also these are nothing but the rows. Okay, so generally this will be the structure of a table. So table will consist of a table name, table will consist of columns, and table will consist of rows. Okay, and if you see more about SQL. So SQL lets you access any data within the relational database. So what is the specialty of SQL? SQL lets you access. So SQL lets you access any data within the relational database. You can access any data within the relational database. So SQL is very fast in retrieving large amount of data very effectively. So SQL, what is the thing? We can retrieve large amount of data very effectively. So SQL, it works with the database systems like Oracle. We use this structured query language. In Microsoft SQL Server, we use this SQL. In IBM, we use this SQL and all. Okay, so SQL helps you manage database without knowing lot of code. So generally, guys, this SQL, you don't have some 10, 15, 100 number of lines of code, something like that. The coding will be very less. Okay, so it is very easy. Like you can manage the databases without knowing a lot of code. That is one more specialty of this SQL. Okay, so if you see what is SQL more, so SQL used to create a database, define its structure, implement it, and let you perform many functions. Okay, so you can create a database, you can define its structure, how the database should be. You can implement a lot of functions on that one. Next, SQL. You can also use to maintain an existing database. Okay, so not only creating new database and doing certain operations on the database using SQL, what you can do, you can also maintain an already existing database also. So you can maintain an already existing database. So SQL is a powerful language for entering data. We can enter the data, modify the data, extract the data from the databases we can do. Okay, so we not only creating new database, you can also maintain the already existing database using this SQL. Okay, next SQL is extensively used in client server language to connect front end and back end. So I told you what is the one which is connecting between the front end and the back end. This SQL commands or this SQL is the one which controls this one. So SQL when deployed as DCL, so DCL stands for data control language, helps protect your database from unauthorized access. So you have some concept called as DCL case. Okay. So using this DCL, what we can do, we can protect our database from unauthorized action also. Okay. So how we protect our database from unauthorized access and all, we shall see in coming up sessions, because we will discuss separately regarding DCL commands and also we will work with all type of commands guys. Okay, so these are different commands of SQL. Okay, so if you see, these are different commands of SQL. So this is called as data definition language. Okay, so we have few commands called as DDL commands. Okay, so DDL commands, we have something called as create in order to create a table, alter in order to alter something, drop in order to drop something, truncate in order to truncate something. So this create, alter, drop, truncate. So these are the ones which comes under data definition language. And then we have something called as data manipulation language. So data manipulation language is called as DML. So what are the commands that comes under this data manipulation language? We have select, update, delete, insert. Okay. And then we have something called as DCL. So that is data control language. Just now I told you. So data control language is the one which will take care of security of the database. Like we have commands like grant. Grant means it will give some permissions to certain people to access the database, to access table in the database and all. Revoke. It is like taking back that grant permission, whatever given to that user. So and we can also check who is granted to access this database, who had done the changes in the database and all. You can check with the IP address and other things also. So how it will be done practically, I will show you guys in the coming up sessions. And then we have something called as transaction control language. So transactional control language, it is called as TCL. So TCL, we have something called as commit. Okay. So this transaction language control, this TCL, what does this do is, so whatever the changes we do in the tables, okay, for example, there is a person with the name Ali. So I am increasing Ali's salary from 50,000 to 55,000. Okay, so then if I use this commit command, then the change will be done permanently. Suppose if any change I had made, I want to roll back it. So no, I don't want Ali's salary to be increased by 5,000. I want it to roll back. So what I do immediately, I use this command, rollback command, so that the changes what we have done will be rolled back. Okay. So these are certain popular, okay, controls of SQL. So one is data definition language, data manipulation language, data control language, transaction control language. Okay. So data definition language, it consists of create, alter, drop, truncate. Data manipulation language, it consists of select, update, delete, insert. Data control language, it consists of grant, revoke. Transactional control language, it consists of command, commit, and rollback case. Okay, so these are the things. And then we have something called a select query. So select column one from table, table name, where condition one, condition two, group by column one, column two, having condition and all. Anyway, we shall see. So before we go that, let us see what are the different SQL data types. So we have different data types, guys. Generally, any language if you see, so even SQL is a language, so it is called a structured query language. So Python is a language. Python has its own data types. Okay, so for example, we have string. A string is a data type. Okay, we have a list. We have a tuple. Okay, so they are data structures anyway, and we have integer data type, float, and other things. Similarly, we have data types for this SQL also. So if you see what are the different data types of this SQL. So for numerics, we have different things like we have integer, small int, weight, decimal, and also integer. So I will tell you practically, guys, where we will use int, where we will use small int, bit, decimal, and also. But do remember, so numeric, we have integer, small int, bit, and all. So if it is an approximate number, suppose for example it has a decimal in it or it has a huge number, then we use something called as float. We have used something called as real. Okay. And when you are using with the daytime concepts, because daytime concepts also we use very often in the databases for in order to note down the changes and all. So daytime we have day, time, daytime stab. Okay, so these are the different data types. And then string data type, we have char, we have varchar, we have text. Okay, so these are different data types while coming to the string. And for coming to the binary data types, we have data types like binary, var binary, image. Okay, so these are binary data types. So these are few data types in SQL. So again, if you see SQL, it has different operations. Okay, so operators. So what are the different operators? Generally, for the arithmetic operation, we have plus, minus, division, subtraction, percentage, and all. So we have some operations called as logical. So all, and, any, between, exist. So what are these? These operators, they are called as logical operators. Do remember, okay? So all, and, any, between, exist. So these are called as logical operators. And then we have comparison operators. So comparison. So generally we used to compare equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not greater, not lesser, and all. Okay. So these are certain SQL operators. So arithmetic operators, we have plus, minus, multiplication, and also these are certain logical operators. Mainly remember logical operators, we play a vital role. Even comparison operators also. So logical operators, all, and, any, between, exist. So this type of things are called as logical operators. Okay, so these are certain logical operators. So now what shall we do is, okay, so SQL, there is not much theory. So straight away we shall go to the practical thing. Okay, guys. So before we go to the practical things, I will tell you how to install MySQL. Okay. So all of you by Monday, what you have to do is you have to install this MySQL in your systems. Okay. So that is what you have to do. So you have to install MySQL in your system. So how to install this MySQL? So open that one. So we have something called as MySQL download. So MySQL download. So we generally we work with SQL Workbench, guys. So if you go here, you have MySQL download, MySQL installer is there. So you have download MySQL Workbench. MySQL Workbench will be installed. So what you do is, my advice you is go to downloads, not MySQL Workbench. Okay, so go to this thing, or else just a moment. Go to MySQL downloads. I ask you permissions and all. Don't go to this link. Go to this link. Go to this download MySQL installer. Let us check this one. Yes, this is the one. Okay. So this is the URL. You need to click anyway. I will share you in the chat. So click on this link, download MySQL installer. Click on that link. So I'm sending you in the chat. So I'm sending to everyone. Please copy and keep it with you. So it was shared in chat to everyone. If anybody does not receive that one, please let me know. Okay. So please check your chat first and say yes. I will proceed further. Everyone. So you got the link, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So once if you click on that link, I go back again. I'll show you. Click this link, click on that link. So once if you go to this link, it will ask you MySQL 8.0 is the final series of all these things and all version and all. First, what you have to do is come here. You have something called as select operating system. So you have to select that operating system. Suppose if you are using Windows, select Windows operating system. So generally all of you uses Windows operating system. So click on Windows. Okay. So if you come here, we have 86-bit, 32-bit, 82-bit MSI installer is there. So what you do is you click on this download, the second one. So you have to click this download. Okay, you have to click this download. So click on the download over here. So when you click on the download, it will ask you for two things. So what it will ask? Login using my Oracle web account or sign up for an Oracle web account. Okay. So what you do is don't opt login, don't opt sign up, don't do these things, guys. Okay. Go straight away to here. You have something called as no thanks, just start my download. Okay. So no thanks, just start my download. So come here, click on this no thanks, start my download. When you do this one, it will ask you for the place where to save. Okay, so it is already there in my system, so I'm not doing that one. But later on, it will ask you for so many things, guys. You can have user ID, password, and all. Okay, just what I recommend you is you check with any YouTube video how to download that one and all. You process that step. Once you download, how the look and feel should be is so come here, MySQL. So you have something called as MySQL Workbench. So click on here. If you see here MySQL Workbench is there. Okay, so you see MySQL Workbench. So click on this MySQL Workbench. So click on that one. So when you click on that one, this will open. Welcome to MySQL Workbench. Okay, so here you have something local instance and all. So if you click on this one, it will ask for user ID and password. Okay. So how you get this user ID and password when you install, you set your own password and user ID. Okay. Set your own password and user ID. So, okay, you can set your own password and user ID. So I am entering the password. So I entered the password and say, okay. So when I said okay, so I had opened the user interface of MySQL, guys. Okay. So here, if you see, we have different features like we have menu items, we have code window, we have schemas window. So here we can check the output. Here, this is a help window. If you want to get code snippets, help and other things, you can get this one. Okay, so this is object information window. Okay, so these are the different windows, guys. Okay, so these are the different things of MySQL. If you see here, these are the different things. Okay, so